sea travel kind of freaks me out. You know,
Just in general?
Yeah. I don't think we feel.
I travel in the high seas every day. It's fine.
I'm okay with you traveling on the high seas every day, to tell you the truth.
You're not worried for me.
I just feel like...
There have been casualties on the Staten Island Ferry before.
That's why I'm not worried.
Okay.
I feel like...
Kind of like, oh, it happened once, it won't happen again type thing?
Not like that.
Oh.
I feel opposite. I feel like... I just don't think we've mastered the seas like we think we do. I think of all the elements on the earth, land, air, and sea, the sea is the one that is by far the most out of control, sort of independent of anything.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like, I think we've got the technology. What's the air going to do? If technology fails in the air, of course, we're completely screwed. But that's generally the technology's fault.
There's this guy, I don't know if you have heard about him. A couple weeks ago, he quit his job, cashed out his 401k, and he's sailing around the world. It was like his dream to do. Oh. And like he's on Instagram and he's getting like, a shitload of followers.
Worst dream you could ever have.
One day he's just not going to post.
Of course he isn't.
Because you already see these, that like it's him and his rescue cat on a boat and they're sailing around the world.
Because he's going to drop his water jug into the water and then he's going to drop his Skype call into the water too.
The world kind of sucks, and like
no, it doesn't.
I
by the
don't
way.
think I'm alone in how I felt with my work. He didn't like his work. He wasn't happy in his job.
So get a different job.
I know what that's like.
You get so many fun jobs.
There's way different jobs.
You can't just get a fun job.
Yes, of course you can.
No, you can't.
If you have all the money in the world, you just need something to go do. You could find a fun job.
You could easily get a fun job that pays as much as just living on a boat does.
Wait, he's currently making $0.
Okay.
Unless he's monetizing on Instagram.
If you're cool with working for free, you can definitely get a fun job. If you're cool, like, just put the fries in the bag. That's a fun job.
That's a fun job.
Work at a fast food place,
Especially if you didn't need the money. You're just there to fuck around and have fun.
Bro, it'd be so fun as an adult.
Yes.
To work at a fast food place.
Where you don't care.
Introductory level.
Yep.
I don't want to be manager.
Nope.
I don't care. You can fire me. I'll go work at another fast food place. I'll just run this town dry of fast food restaurants. It'd be so much fun.
And they're like, you're fired. You go, okay, I don't care.
That's fine. You're like the weird 40-something-year-old guy that's hanging out with all these high school kids, like telling them about life.
And you're rich. You don't give a fuck.
You don't care.
You come in, you're like, hey, you want $100? There you go.
There you go. Fine.
I have so much of it, I don't even know what to do with it.
They're like, oh.
You just give it to kids? They would be so unappreciative.
Who cares?
Be stoked.
They would be stoked.
They would be stoked, but they wouldn't treat you seriously.
Make them do something funny.
Oh,
Like jump out the window, the drive-through window.
Right. No doors?
No.
Here's $100.
So you just want to pay teenagers to do fun things.
Well, that did take a turn quickly. Jason in New York.
Yeah, hey, buddy. Kind of hating a little, Sam.
Not
yeah,
me.
right?
I love it. But the guy is only sailing from Oregon to Hawaii, and what inspired him is that he got some sort of diagnosis. I don't think he's terminally ill, but he got this diagnosis, hated his job, and was just like, you know what? I'd rather be sailing.
It seemingly started 4 years ago when he was diagnosed with a syndrome that carried a risk of paralysis. That feels like a stretch.
Why? Why are you doubting and hating this guy?
He's moving. Like, it carries a risk. Like, okay. But, like, also the idea of, like, I'm 29, I think I figured things out. Like, no, you haven't.
I don't think he's figured anything out, but if you wake up one day and you're like, I'm not happy doing what I'm doing.
At 29?
I have a...
Nobody's ever been happy at 29. It's never happened.
I have a syndrome that has risk of paralysis. I want to do what makes me happy before I die.
He's not dying. He's moving around. And by the way, if you're at risk of paralysis, who's going to take over the boat?
Should probably stay on
The
land.
cat's not going to drive it to show.
That's right.
You don't think Phoenix can go the rest of the way?
And Phoenix is going to be like, you have to be kidding me. No. Like, what are you doing? You can't drive us back? I don't mind him wanting to go to Hawaii, but I mean, to sail from Oregon to Hawaii, there's no reason.
I didn't even know there was a coast of Oregon. I thought Oregon was in the middle.
Isn't that where Goonies was?
It feels like that's where.
Oh,
was.
you think maybe that he was in the Goonies area?
You're probably thinking of Portland, Maine.
That's right.
Oh, Portland. Maybe it's Portland.
Portland, Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah, Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
No. I don't. I also think at 29 feels like the age where you think you've got it all figured out, and then like 3 years later you go, what an idiot I was when I was 29. Like when I was 29, I'd probably tell you, don't worry, I got it. I know, I got it all figured out.
Yeah, but you did.
You did. You're on the course that you were
I knew
thinking.
you when you were 29.
I didn't have it all figured out. I had dumb ideas when I was 29.
I think you had an idea of the direction you wanted to go.
Vaguely, broad strokes.
You talk about like what's the haps?
Yeah, exactly right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Wrestling and talking to a microphone. That's
Yeah.
the
Okay, those are
Yeah,
very.
you didn't change course.
Those are very. No, I had to. I mean, we've had to duck and weave a few times throughout
Okay.
the course. You know what I mean? I was like, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have this big stupid hair. You know what I mean? All my life, It was a different deal.
All right, well, things worked out.
Yeah. Those are just fashion choices.
Things did work out.
And you looked cool when you had it.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate that.
You look great now.
But this idea of like being like, no. But if when I was unhappy at 29 and I'd said, you know what? I'm unhappy at 29. I better go get on a boat and just live my, I better
Yeah,
cash.
but you're under different circumstances. This guy was diagnosed with a syndrome that carried the risk of paralysis.
I have that too. I could fall down.
Okay, that's not a symptom. You're being real shitty to this guy.
Well, I'm just saying. He's like, I'm going to cash in my 401k. Okay, here's $1,400.
You don't know how well he did.
Well, it said you could be making $150,000 a year and you still feel like you're just making ends meet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
No money, no plan, and $10,000 of debt.
No money?
No plan. No, I think too many of us embrace this idea of escapism as opposed to actually solving problems. Like, you know what you could do? Just call Dave Ramsey and figure out how to get the $10K to pay off your debt. Dave Ramsey would have a plan. And you know what Dave Ramsey wouldn't tell you to say? Get on a boat with your cat. He'd say, you make $150,000. He'd go like this. He'd go, you mean to tell me you make $150,000 a year and you can't pay $10,000 of debt? Where's the money going? Where's the money going? What are you spending it on? Because it's not cat food.
He's a free spirit.
That's what Dave. I hate free spirits.
I know you do.
That's what Dave.
That's so not you.
I hate free spirits.
Come on.
That's what Dave
Right?
Ramsey would say.
I mean, I see both sides. You know, you have good work ethic. You were born with good. You were instilled with good work ethic with your parents. But like some people just don't look at work the same way you do. You know what I mean? Some people are just like,
It's not. They look at why are you here? Why are you on the
On
planet?
Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah, to have a good time.
I mean, you didn't ask to be. Nobody asked to be here.
So get off.
Well,
We're all here against our... We didn't consent.
You mean you're on the planet against your will?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's God's will.
God's plan.
God's plan. God's plan.
So let him have fun.
No.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets to be an issue. People follow him on social. They go, if only more of us could be like this. And then they write about him in People magazine going, how great is this?
People
It's
just like
not
to
great.
watch Journeys.
It's not great.
He was on Anderson Cooper.
What did Anderson have to say?
He's got... Google... I'll send it to you.
I mean, if any of my kids grew up to be 29 and going like, Dad, I'm going to go out on the sea with my cat, I'd be like, well, good. I'm glad I spent all that money to raise you.
Go to Anderson.
Good, perfect. This is what I wanted for my child, to go out on a boat at 29.
There's just,
Yeah,
I know
maybe
guys.
they're happy for him.
I know guys that are just, they have this hard on for being on the sea. They love to, they just dream about being on a boat. They dream about owning a boat. I know multiple guys like that.
You know what Dave Ramsey would tell you?
Stop talking about Dave Ramsey.
These boats are a waste of money.
Thank goodness.
Dave Ramsey's got a lot of good ideas.
You read a book or something?
No, I mean, my algorithm got twisted. Okay, here's Anderson Cooper covering
There's my guy.
the man. I think we got some Knicks videos still on. It's all right. That's just the sound of New York City, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you can't turn that off.
Yeah, we just opened a mic to New York. And that's what it sounded like. No, I don't. Free spirits. Because free spirits are generally not that free. They care. They're feigning free spiritness. And they haven't earned it either. They haven't accomplished anything. I'm just a free spirit. Everybody would like to not do anything.
Yeah.
But some of us feel an obligation to actually contribute.
You don't think he's contributing?
Him?
Yeah.
No, not an ounce. He is not contributing 1 ounce.
But
Not 1 ounce. He's dumping
but I
oil in
mean,
the ocean. That's
like-
all he's doing. He's not contributing.
But he's doing his thing. Just because he's not doing like, you
It's
know,
not his thing.
something for the world.
Yeah, you don't have to do stuff for the world.
Yeah.
You can contribute.
You can live your life.
Look,
Yeah,
you're
just
contributing
live your
right here.
life.
You are contributing.
Well, to a radio.
Oh, just live your life. We're contributing, okay?
But you're acting like, oh well, he's sailing around the world.
Ugh.
He's not contributing to society.
First of all, he's not even
die.
sailing around. I didn't say he should die. I said he should come back to land
And do
And do
what?
what?
and get a fucking job, dude.
I mean, this guy wants to.
I cashed in my 401k. You just started your 401k. What are you talking about? 401k is useless at 29. You know what Dave Ramsey would say about cashing in your 401k at 29?
I want to know.
Why even have a 401k if you're going to cash it in at 29? That's got to be the dumbest decision I've ever heard in my life.
I didn't realize when we got drinks this morning, you ordered a large Haterade.
Well,
That's a great point, Travis.
you
I
just
don't
got to
know.
get out there and live life. This is not living life.
I mean, you are right in the sense that, like, when he does finish this,
It's going to be 33 years old.
and companies are going to be like, well, I don't know if I want to hire this guy because he might just quit tomorrow.
Of course he's going to quit tomorrow. I've met somebody like that.
I was just thinking about that.
I'm not impressed by it. Like, let me invent a dream.
You know what? I have a new dream.
Yeah, you can't have a
I
dream.
must leave.
You can't figure out a new dream at 29. That's not a dream. It's a thing you want to do.
Yeah, but if you learn about something, you can have a new dream.
It's not a dream. It's just a thing that you want to do.
You can have
now.
new dreams. What, dreams have to come from your childhood?
They have to be extended. Yes.
How long do you have to want to do something until it can qualify as a dream?
That's a great question. I mean, 15 years.
15 years?
Yes.
Wow.
I think 15 years is when it can finally develop into
So
a
if
dream.
I get into something today,
Yeah,
I'm going to be
75.
Nope. You're doing
that's right,
wrong
right?
math.
Did I do the math wrong?
No, you're right.
Okay, great.
Until I can do that thing and have you be like, oh, man, good for him. That's a dream.
Yes, if you
Okay,
said
that's fair.
if you told me you like a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and then like 6 weeks from now you're like, I'm finally gonna do it, I'd be like, okay, and you're like, yeah, I have accomplished my dream. Because you know what it does? Because people who actually accomplish their dreams, like that's actually cool. When people are like, oh, I have a new dream, I'm gonna accomplish it. Like you're not. No, you're not. You're just doing a thing.
Yeah, you're doing You know, I don't have I didn't have a set amount of time in mind, but 15 years sounds
15 years
that sounds
is it.
appropriate.
I've worked on this for 15 years. I'm finally going to get to do it.
I'm going to accomplish my dream.
Right.
You can't be like, oh, man, you know what I would love to do?
Your dream is to go to Tokyo Disney.
Oh, I would love that.
And if you did that, I'd be like, that's it. And Troy,
You're right.
we would go, that's a dream vacation
You're right.
for that weirdo Travis,
It's
right?
attainable, though. You know?
Of course it's attainable. You just buy a ticket to Tokyo.
Well, no, I mean, it requires a lot of planning. I can't, we need like 2 weeks off.
Maybe spend, maybe skip 1 or 2 trips to Orlando Disney.
I
to
haven't
get
been in
to
5
Tokyo.
years.
I don't know
It's
if
been
that's
enough.
true.
It's been enough.
I spent a lot.
This one's for my daughter.
I spent the whole pandemic in the
Daughter
theme
was
park.
at all of them.
This is why he's not just, oh yeah, just out there doing his thing. No, he's not. He's trying to make a thing out of it. Okay? He's got all this support on social. He's doing news hits.
You sound real sour.
He's doing
Like,
GoFundMe.
Oh,
I am
it's
sour.
working. It's working for him.
I am sour.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, let this guy live his life.
Because
You're
he's
like,
not
oh,
living his life. He's escaping his life.
Okay, well, who cares?
I do.
Well, you shouldn't.
I should.
You
because
should worry about other things.
No, I'm not. I'm not worried about anything else.
Like, you should worry about Sam Roberts.
I don't need to. That's taken care of.
Worry about your family.
They're good.
Worry
Look,
about
he
your
says
They're perfect. It's perfect.
he
Don't worry
says
about
on
this
his
guy.
GoFundMe.
He said he decided I'm going to be a public figure. I want everybody to look at what I'm doing. And so for me to say I'm looking at what you're doing and here's what I think, and you go, oh, you shouldn't look at what he's doing. Why not? He's putting it out there.
Yeah, but he was kind of like a public figure by default. Like he was just posting this shit on Instagram and it took off.
That's not default. It's posting on Instagram.
Right, but he wasn't.
He's creating a brand.
He says in his GoFundMe.
And then he made a GoFundMe.
I
You
have
think-
always harbored a wild, impossible dream
Shut the. What do you mean always? For
to
what?
sail around
Sail
the
this,
world.
people love sailing the sea.
He's
Yeah.
29. I've always harbored this dream
Maybe
for like
he-
3
may-
years.
Okay, maybe when he was 14.
Then that would pass my 15-year. Yeah. But don't
so
tell
I quit,
me.
bought a
don't-
sailboat.
He created a GoFundMe and an Instagram page for this thing. He wanted people to see it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, because you're sailing. You're like, look, I'm doing something when I live.
You make podcasts you want people to see them?
Right. And then if people have an opinion on those podcasts, they're entitled to it.
Sure. And you're entitled to your opinion, but
Then why did you tell me not to have it?
well, because it's just silly to get angry at this guy.
I'm furious.
I know you're steaming.
Steaming. I can't stand him. Can't stand him.
He created the GoFundMe on December 30th.
Why, how come he needs the GoFundMe if he cashed in his great 401k?
Because you're always going to need more money.
Yeah, he is. You know what? You know what would get him more money?
A job.
If you get a fucking job and get off the stupid boat. Why do I have to pay for you to be on a boat?
I do question. So people are giving him money.
For what?
That's my question.
Because they are living vicariously through him because they all think it's a good idea to just escape.
Like, I don't think this is a good use of people's money. Because
No.
really, like, you're right. What's he buying? He's out on the fucking seas.
He just doesn't want to have a job.
You can't, like,
He's
order
like-
Amazon.
He's like, you know what would be cool if I just sat around not doing anything? Like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but when you get to land, you can buy cool shit.
That's true.
Yeah, plus
Well,
it's a wild, impossible dream that he's harbored.
You can get all kinds of souvenirs when you get to the mainland.
You think he's going to buy a lot of tchotchkes in Hawaii?
100%. He's not going to yes. People are going to go, where'd all my GoFundMe money go? And it's going to be a bunch of like little dolls that like shake their hips in hula skirts.
Yeah, look at all my luau dolls.
Right.
No, I will agree that this GoFundMe seems unnecessary because you can't buy stuff out there.
No, there's no stores.
No.
It's the ocean.
Yeah, you can't get anything delivered.
No.
The food that you've got is the food you're going to have. You can't be like, oh, I ran out of food. I need help.
Yeah. You brought whatever you brought, that's what you're eating.
Yeah, he's still the man, though.
He's not even close to the man.
And if he sinks, it's his fault.
That
Yeah.
I'm fine if he sinks.
It's like that clown that was in the boat during the hurricane. It's like if it goes wrong, like you're the asshole out there doing it.
That's right.
You're fine
But
if you'd be fine
But
with
this one
another
over
man.
here says he's the man.
Yeah, he is the man.
He's not the
He's
man.
doing what he wants.
Yeah, I don't think I'm angry at him.
Yeah,
He's
I'm not angry
Do
at
you
him
think
at
he's the
all.
man?
I mean,
He's not.
He has a cat. That's cool.
Yeah, that is.
That's cool. He brought his cat.
Yeah.
I'd bring Toots if I did this.
I would if you brought Toots,
Mhm.
I would send the National Guard after you.
What?
I'd say there's an animal abuser. You can't put Toots out on the ocean.
Yeah,
like
but it
that.
would be shitty to give up your cat.
You just give it to your fiance. She's not going with you.
No, I'm talking about this guy.
Give it to your parents. They're taking care of you anyway.
How do you don't know that?
It feels that way.
It's probably closer to true than false.
Yeah.
It's like all those.
How long you been working?
Me?
Yeah.
God, 25 years.
Okay, you cash in your
Plus-
401k right now.
Go ahead.
Did you get a boat?
I don't think so.
What about one with a kitchen?
Definitely not.
Okay.
No.
Okay, but somehow this guy got it done by 29.
I could get one with like a chair that I would have to like sleep in sitting up.
Right. And that's more of a dinghy.
Yeah.
I
And
can get
would
like
probably
a
have to
rubber
buy the
dinghy.
cushions.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, it's like all these articles that you read about, like, so-and-so paid off their college loans. Here's how they did it. And then you read, like, oh, I lived at home for 5 years. Okay.
Right.
You didn't really do it.
Right. He's like,
But this guy rules. He's the best.
oh, you could be making $150,000 a year and still feel like you're barely making ends meet.
And he's right.
So I bought a boat.
But he wasn't happy. Now he's happy. He's
Oh,
harbored.
cool.
He has harbored this wild, impossible
That's what they
dream.
say. The secret to happiness is a boat.
Happiness is a butterfly.
I can't wait. Like this is people, and this is what bothers me. It's not even my vitriol is
You
not
hate
so.
this guy.
What's not so? I don't like him. I wouldn't want anything to do with him in life.
You want to get him in studio and ruin his life?
I would love to get him in studio and ruin his
I would
life.
help you.
I would. Yeah, you would, right?
turn?
Yeah, just to help Sam out because that's funny.
Let's give him a real lambasting, you know? But my problem is that everybody is sitting here going with the Travis Teff narrative, which is, oh, he's the man. This is what makes him happy. Nobody's saying he's going through a quarter life crisis. Nobody's saying it.
Yeah, maybe he's not.
If a 55-year-old buys a Ferrari, nobody goes like, "Oh, he's making himself happy." They go, "Oof, somebody's going through a midlife crisis."
Well, yeah, because you usually make those
They go,
poor decisions
"Oof."
when you're younger.
Oof. But if a 29-year-old gets on a boat and does some dumb shit, they're not like, "Oh, he's going through a quarter life crisis." That's a real thing. He's realizing that he's not a kid anymore. He's having a tough time getting into his adult life, and so he wants to escape it. He's going through a quarter life crisis. And instead of just saying that, they're like, "Man, I wish I could live my dream too."
People are allowed to do shit.
Yeah, he's allowed. I'm not trying to arrest him. I'm trying to call it for what it is, which is a lame quarter life crisis.
I think you just get angry when anybody doesn't have the same work ethic you do.
Yep.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's not that tough.
Well, so it just people don't have the same idea of what life is that you do.
Listen, life ain't sitting on a boat with a cat.
You're living your dream. He's living his.
No, he's not. No, he's not. Because he just decided this. Like, he said, well, I don't know. I got a diagnosis. And then I was like, oh, I'll buy a boat. That's not living
Yeah,
your
and then
dream.
like a couple years later, he actually bought the boat.
Couple years.
Yeah.
I got to save up for a boat. My allowance doesn't cover it.
You think you're still on allowance?
I think he used a little bit of his allowance, sure.